Hey everybody, and welcome back to Age of Bison. We have a very interesting game that we're going to showcase here today. It's a 1v1. Crispy Butt, excellent name, PhD, so Dr. Crispy Butt, I guess we should be saying,
Oh
has
yes.
submitted a very interesting game. This is kind of what you would call around like the standard ELO 1000, 1100 ELO range, which often people are so focused on the quote unquote competitive scene that they can kind of get blind and they miss out on so much depth and options that a Civ can have. And, Crispy Butt, I've seen you before in the comments talking about like different ways to approach Civs, and he recommended this game as, I don't want to give away too much, but it's a very interesting game, and we're going to see a different side to Portugal, one of my personal favorites and a very underutilized Civ. So I'm joined today by uh, our thumbnail maestro, McCleaves. McCleaves, how are you doing today?
Also known as Japan hater. Yeah, doing doing well and very excited about this game. I don't really know much about any of these players, but yeah, I as you say, we saw that this was a pretty spicy game, and we like to cast spicy things.
All
So
right, we're going to see if I remember that, but I'm going to do a callback to the fact you said spice, because that is something I do believe will play a part in this. So, starting off here on the top, we've got Japan. Japan into Portugal is a very interesting matchup, right? Japan, famous for its shrine boom, does kind of taper off a bit in the late game, but it has a variety of units, a variety of strategies. As long as it's able to boom, right? It's a little bit slow to
mhm.
start. It's vulnerable to rushes. And over here we have Portugal, which is also very similar in the fact it likes to boom. It can be a bit slow. Um, Looks like he's chopping out the house. Wow, not too bad of an overgather. Pretty crisp, So crispy is in his name, and I don't think he will idle his TC too bad. This is
Yeah, he
again.
does need to get the hunt back in because
Yes,
kind of ran.
yeah. The bison here at Age of Bison, we support free range bison, which apparently the devs do too, because these things do wander.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
we're also here joined
three the
in
bison.
this map, which is an absolute fun one. Um,
Mexico.
yep, Mexico. It's kind of like Dakota in a lot of ways, right? Except for a little bit less of a choke point, right? Because it's bisected here. Good value trade
Yeah.
line. I expect to see, well, really between both these two civs, it could be anything. Very flexible civs, late game civs. Sky's the limit. All right. So for Portugal, looking at his deck, my first thought, this is very interesting. So this is definitely not a typical Portugal deck, right? Other than Fatoria, which, thanks to the hunt bonus, you're kind of forced to take as Portugal. But it's not a bad card. It gives you some trickles, useful when you are idled. Um, a lot of eco cards. Medicine is always kind of a contentious card on Portugal. But he's got the important ones,
Yeah.
the goons.
I wonder. It's funny that medicine is an H3, by the way. Is that just a Portugal thing?
It's in H3 for many civs. It's in H2 for other civs. Um,
Interesting. I wonder whether he took this deck just because he saw it was Japan, and Japan doesn't typically rush. And because his deck seems a little bit weak against rushes when you see that he's got no real unit cards in H2. So maybe it was like a reactive pick.
right? He's figuring, hey, Japan's kind of slow, so I'm just going to be as greedy as possible. It's not a bad
Yeah,
strategy. You do have these TCs. He does have or town militia, right? So with Portugal,
true.
this card is incredibly effective at
Yeah.
holding rushes. So you know, uh, I think we have a creative deck here, and with all these eco cards, everybody at up until the highest level, sometimes you see a deck like this and you kind of go, oh, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. But if you fail to knock down somebody with all these eco cards, it doesn't matter how good your APM is. You're going to just get ground down. And
Yeah.
that's what we might see here. But this is generally a good, not a terrible deck. He's got Explorers to snare.
No, I
He's
might, change. I think this cigar rollers or
mm,
yeah, treadmill, textile mill is a bit too much. I would take a unit shipment over that, but other than
yeah.
that,
Maybe
it's fine.
fit eight
Could be
crossbow in
worse.
somewhere. Remove maybe the forge, H4
Or
forge.
yeah, or five goons, something. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think Mr. Crispy Butt, he lives for the dreams. So,
Yeah.
all right, Japan coming in. Oh, You know, it's funny. We were just talking about how Japan likes to boom, but it does have kind of an early aggressive option, and they often
I
open
was
with
I
the
was
Torii
thinking
gates.
that this I was thinking that this Tokogu shrine was like really outside of the hunt range, but yeah, I guess I was wrong.
That explains that, doesn't it? And it looks like, right, doing a Shrine Wagon, not necessarily the most optimal card for Japan, but, you know, again, you're Japan, you're trying to do a rush, you want as much eco as you can, and these shrines are just incredible value of eco throughout the game. You know,
Oh,
they're slower, but they never exhaust resources.
that's right.
All
This
right,
is the one thing that I complained about the most. I think with Japan is like then how they don't actually gather the resources. Like they gather them, but they don't deplete them. It's pretty. But okay, let's just focus on this game.
yeah. So he's coming in here with the Naturalist. This is a pretty greedy card, yeah. I think Portugal's in turbo greed mode,
Yeah.
right? He's basically saying, look, I'm against Japan. The average Japan bot from 9 elo to 1900 just kind of does like the same boom thing, right? Because Japan's kind of been forced into that niche over DE, so, you know.
You have to give him naturalist is 2 vills and 500 food. So if you want to get up fast, it's not actually terrible.
It isn't, but you know the crate's a lot quicker, and if you're Portugal expecting
Yeah.
pressure, right, like every second counts because as soon as you hit H3, you can pop the town militia with the shadow tech up to 3 stats. You can send your organ guns, right?
Mm.
This is the card
It's a
um,
good card.
that keeps Portugal rolling, and yeah, I mean so far kind of a peaceful start, but I'm expecting some aggression. Oop, there's a Rax coming down from Japan, so you know Portugal.
It's not very forward, but it's going to be an H2. It looks like it's going to be an H2 play.
Mm-hmm. Stable coming down. Oh yeah, we're
Stable
definitely going
too.
to see some aggression.
Oh yes. What does he have in? It looks like he's switched out of the consulate and he didn't read. Pick a new option. I'm wondering. I'm wondering what he's going to pick.
Isn't the Japanese consulate usually the go-to when you're going to be aggressive?
Yeah, I don't know Japan's strategy enough, but I know that they like to get Portugal early on, which is pretty ironic in this
Yeah.
matchup, I suppose. But
Something to think about too, of course. Always remember to scout your opponent with Portugal in the spyglass. It looks like he tried to. It's hard to remember every single map. Again, Portugal is a civ that is
yeah,
very tricky. Oh, but we're booming, and it looks like he's ready to go to age 3. Probably with
this
the
man is very
what?
perfectionist with
Wait,
his
wait.
placing.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Okay,
This
okay.
is not a standard age up. There's no Exile Prince.
No,
This
and
is a
normally,
very surprising choice.
yeah, normally Portugal it's like all pedal to the metal. The faster you get to H3, the faster you get your third TC, the faster you're able to recover your boom, the faster you get your goons. One of the signature units of Portugal is goon and then Caçador.
Yeah.
Um, Although again, super flexible civ. He's saving a shipment. He's getting his market. Okay. But all these things it's off meta, but he's doing all the key parts you need for a long-term game, right? He's getting his market, he's getting his eco-techs. He is
Yep.
set up to boom. So I really do. Same thing with Japan. Japan continues to kind of shrine. It probably could spend some more time poking around. Yeah, see, this is something I think at lower elos, a valid critique is make sure you keep scouting, right? Because Japan's massing all these
Yeah.
units, but
Especially when you're going for pressure, when you're going for H2 pressure, you want to know where the infrastructure is, where the villages are, where the hunts are,
right.
the mines as well. This is pretty important. Scouting is really crucial in this game, and it's something that even us at our mid elo, we tend to miss out on information
Correct.
sometimes.
And again, caster privilege, right? When you're playing the game trying to do a million things, it's always easy to forget these kind of
Yeah,
steps. Um,
for sure.
but I really like, Portugal now getting up with the Merc contractor. So I believe they can make Ronin and Elmeti or Armored
It's
Pistol
interesting that he
Warriors.
didn't actually eat the cows. I'm wondering what he's planning with those.
Just reserve cow. And of course, the
Sure.
hunts, deer,
Oh yeah, the usual.
roadblock. Coming in with a fort. I think we're going to see a fast industrial now.
Or Yeah, Ford looks like FI for sure.
Hmm.
Japan's score is quite high now compared to Portugal. He is an H down, and here comes the army.
Yep.
And he did go with isolationist concept,
Japan.
as you were
Yeah.
saying.
So we're probably going to see some action here, and this is a lot of siege. You know, again, Portugal is a turtle civ. There's 3 town centers in close proximity. That's a lot of fire, but
There's 40 siege on these boys, and they have range resist too, a little bit. The Yamabushi. I mean. Yeah, interesting. This fort is going to be at risk.
well, it's even a risk to the foundations. And this is, you know, DE pathing, right? This is guy
There's this one
lollygag.
villager that, yeah.
Oh no!
Oh, did he forget to? Oh, he did place it, but
Yeah.
you need to move. Okay, there we go. He realizes it.
And now she's in the way.
Oh, but this villager, no.
For anyone that's played Skyrim, the lollygagging, right, in Mexico right now is off the charts. And oh man, I think that fort's
Yeah, but
gonna
he
go
does
down.
have a lot of seat. No, he's not going to get it up. Yeah,
Nope.
absolutely.
And that's loss of a shipment on a civ that doesn't have the highest tempo. And all right, pops the first Minutemen.
1,000 resources, you know.
Okay, where's that?
And he was shipping coin, so it's risky.
Ooh, and he ships coin to this TC, and that's, you know, again,
Does get the
hindsight's
Minutemen in
2020.
there.
But you could have shipped it. But I like this. Good Minutemen pop. And look at that. He's focusing down all the siege units. Good job, Crispy Butt. You know, again, he's got all these TCs. The Yumi are not the problem, right? It's these clubs with the siege. That's what he's trying to
He needs
avoid.
to get the clubs down and the Ashies, the samurai as well. This is what he needs to focus on. And he's doing this. He's getting rid of the mass, and it looks like Japan is not going to be able to get through all these TCs. It's just a little bit too much now.
But, you know, maybe
he does get some houses, but 3 TCs is still 30 population. So.
Look at that.
He is actually popped now.
You know, he's got 300 wood though, so he can rebuild. But yeah, this is. I think he holds here. You know what I mean? I think Japan.
He holds.
Yeah.
And Japan, you know, it was a big investment. When you think about what Portugal lost, it was a fort, it was maybe some villagers, and 800 resources on the Minutemen. Actually a bit more because he did a small pop as well. And then you have got Japan, and it has just, you know, this big army that also cost a lot of resources. So
yeah,
it's not, you know, yes, Portugal lost quite a bit there, but it's not over. It's not over, and he does have the gold in now, so he does need a bit more food, and he's getting medicine in here
medicine.
to
Okay,
save
so
food.
Yeah, and here you go. He's been idled a long time. Typically, this card doesn't have the most value, but I kind of like, and you know, Crispy, but if you watch this, feel free to leave a comment. Was this part of the rationale for including medicine? Is basically anticipating, hey, I'm going to be idled a lot because I'm going to turtle.
Yeah.
In like mega turtle mode, and this will make up for the lost time, right? Because the 15% build time is probably more important than the food at this point.
Especially when you have 3 TCs already. Yeah. And he does still have all that livestock that he can eat, so.
Yeah.
I suppose.
He's looking okay, but you know,
Japan need to get this herd in, and he's working hard on this herd on the left to get that inside the base and you know, be safe for maybe 5 to 10 more minutes.
All right, but you know, Japan now, plenty of res. I would probably expect to see an age 3. You know, and if Japan brings cannons, this turtle will crack. You know, that is kind of a weakness of Portugal, right?
This is true.
Is you know, falconet pushes. Some of the Germany or Portugal's worst matchups are civs that can kind of spike in ego and grind them down.
Yeah,
with
Dutch.
Yep. Dutch.
Brits.
Actually, yeah. Portugal's
France.
Spain and Otto are actually probably what you would call the classic.
Well, yeah. They just have the tempo. Yeah, and Aztec as well with the Eagle, with the Arrow Knights is a big problem.
Yeah, especially in the squishy Castador. But I think we have kind of a lull in the action here. Is both people are probably trying to rethink. Like Japan's basically saying, how much do I want to beat my head into this wall? And Portugal's probably saying, please leave me alone. Um, so I can do it. Oh, we've got a macro for an age 4, and this is great. You know, I think many people at mid elo like they tend to panic and overinvest when under early pressure. And I want to give a lot of props to Crispy Butt here for basically saying like, look, I haven't idled. I've been under pressure, but I'm going to stick to my win condition, which is going to age 4. Because again, Japan's with all of the map control Japan has, you basically have to assume their eco is going to be better than yours for a very long time.
Yeah. Even with all the investment he did on military units, and he's still doing. And also, I want to point out that Portugal is sitting on a shipment, so I'm really wondering what he's going to send. Maybe he's thinking about some H4 shipment that he wants to get in. Not sure, but yeah, maybe does he have the heavy cannons or?
He does not, but he does have factories.
Okay.
Yeah,
oh, here comes a raid.
Maybe they get one. Nope.
Yeah, but he was right to pull all those villagers back because the main army is coming behind this.
Yeah. Something to think about too. Oh, they're perfect, man, Crispy Butt. That's exactly what I was about to say. He moves his villagers around to get the maximum use of these 3 town centers, right? Because after 10 villagers, you don't really get any extra attack. As soon as I'm about to say something, he moves it in there. Absolutely.
He does have the colonial militia guardian, which also improves the damage that these TCs are doing. So and here comes the batch. So this is going to be a lot of damage on. How do you push in with on this without cannons? Really?
Oh no, the organ guns though they're not.
He doesn't even get a shell off.
He gets one. Yeah, this other one goes down. He's now got 2 shipments back to back.
But here come the Naggies. These are going to clean that organ gun up and villages with that.
I think he's going to lose a TC here.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Well, he did have the samurai and that. And another pop match. Okay, this should hold. This should hold it. Yep. Although the samurai, samurai are actually a big problem here because they have a lot of siege. I think that was a pretty good goal by Japan getting samurai. Maybe he didn't get enough. Maybe the Yumi were unnecessary. But
I think right now the biggest thing if you're Japan is you could have backed off, built flaming arrows, and use the range to kind of not do this because Portugal is playing just fantastic right now.
I think he heard you.
Yeah. Now here he goes. He's in age 4. What does he send? Probably factories back to back. Doesn't have unit shipments. Either that or another.
This is the time to you push him back. His mass is probably not that large anymore. It's probably a time to send a factory. Yeah.
Right. And again, if you're Japan, how much of that turtle do you want to beat your head in the wall? He's age 4 now. You got to be thinking like this is not good. So I would assume Japan's going to get.
But the scores are still even, so it's not over.
Oh, it's not over at all. What I'm trying to say is that if
Japan does need to go H3. I agree.
Mm-hmm. Bushido principles.
You need these. I think that's a consulate tech.
I believe.
I think it's the one that allows you to train in batches of 10.
Aha. Well, Japan. Oh, he just lost his orchard. Okay, he's sending another one though. So
this is where it starts to be a little. Yeah, he does need. This is a problem for Japan, right? This is a problem where.
I mean, you want to talk?
You run out of food. Where are you going to? Where are you going to get food now? Because the only source is your shrines, and especially this Japan with what's his pop limit? It's 170, so he is not on full shrines yet. Food is going to be a little bit of an issue for a while. Though he does have enough right now.
Well, and he's got the cherry orchards coming right behind it, so I think he'll be okay.
Yeah,
we've got more.
But it costs a shipment, It's I don't know whether it's difficult to assess the. Whether that doesn't cost you a little bit of tempo because you're it's more of a long-term shipment.
All right, looks like the safe gold mine is out. He's got one here in the corner though.
He's got another one. It's only a tin mine. I think.
Ooh, okay.
El Medi.
Yeah, this is the last Merc shipment, I believe, that Portugal is allowed to have because only Ottoman are allowed. Ottoman stole all 60 Merc shipments.
Oh yeah, they took all the camp shipments.
Yeah. And, poor Crispy, but I don't think this is his fault at all. It seems like the pathing of the wagons, just having a tough time right now.
This is the second time this happens. It's horrible.
Yeah. And even this factory was actually laid up for a second here, so
Oh,
There
there
he
you go. He
goes.
notices and instantly fixes it.
All right, so what's Japan? Is Japan aging up yet? Nope. Japan's just like, you know
Nope.
what? I like this game. Let's try.
Yeah, he does have a score lead again, so you know,
Well, look at that, 43 vills, but
lots of samurai.
yeah, and just now Portugal at 19 minutes with three, technically four TCs, but we lost one, is able to start to have better build. Ooh, perfect timing. But you know what? Those
Yeah,
samurai.
great. This is great.
Ooh, even.
You need to.
Whoa!
Oh.
Whoa!
Okay, okay, okay.
Whoa!
And the Chatman cannons
Oh no!
right in
Oh
there.
no! The cannons! Oh no!
He's going to run in with all these. Okay, he lost the cannons. He lost the cannons, but these Ameti are going to do work now. They are like right where you want to have them.
God dang!
Although maybe a little bit more.
I mean, just look at the
No,
stats
this is
though.
this really good.
1,000 stats. 3 times of assault infantry versus H2 units. Holy mackerel.
When you're fighting this with H2 units, you know, it's just terrible.
He just moved the cows. Was he trying to like body block with it? And wow, these samurai are doing work, but I mean, you just can't.
Yeah, they were kind of hold back by all these pikemen, which I don't know what those are called, but
The
very
spears.
very good hold now.
Look at that, good job. He's just kind of giving him the runaround, right?
We can call them the bamboo guys. I think it's probably the.
Yeah, the bamboo
They
spears.
fight with bamboo sticks. So.
We've got revolutionaries. Both the factories now on food.
Wait, he can garrison these guys in the TC?
They were probably villagers that were garrisoned. I don't.
Or
think
was that just a shipment? Maybe
No, it wasn't a shipment.
no, maybe there were like villagers that went in.
Unless-
Yeah, right.
Or maybe it was a shipment. Maybe I missed it. But all right. Now remember I said spice earlier. Doc, pepper exports. Right?
Oh yeah. There's a pretty good food trickle here.
Mm-hmm.
5 food. It helps like getting the eco back up, especially
does.
when you have. And this is the thing with Portugal, right? You have like 3 TCs already. You should have 4, but you know. This helps with getting back from a revolution. So if you manage to pull it off, it's actually pretty good with them.
It is. You know, I was going to say typically the game would be basically over at this point, but I think Japan lost so much that you know he's able to kind of regain some tempo. And again, he's got all the TCs. He's got 2 factories. I think Indonesia might be able to go the mile here. That was so smart. Like I said, doing the Elmeti, I think was key. God, if you only had a priest to heal these things up.
Oh yes. The Ometi really did it. You know, getting those before he revolted was actually game changing. This is really messed with Japan's plan.
Absolutely. And just like that, the vills are now coming back. And I mean, can Japan? How many times?
A lot of samurai again, but he's still H2. This is really fun.
This is crazy. Like I kind of like this Japan's guy's moxie at the same time. He's like, nope, this is the game we're playing now. But Crispy, but I mean,
He's just committing, you know.
Yeah, he's like, nope, this is the game we're playing. Oh, and now he's got the livestock.
And I suppose in theory, samurai should do pretty well against this since there's like no.
And you know what's funny too? Okay, he's sieging down houses, right? But it's a revolt.
Yeah, he still gets XP for it, but that's basically it.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, but I don't know if he can stop that mass. And yeah, those Elmeti are gonna just go squish here in a sec.
Oh man, the Yumi are just on a. But the Elmeti didn't actually get on top of them. Wow.
I mean, some of them had
crazy.
like 5 HP, but.
Yeah, but they were like right on top of the Yumi, and then they just went around. This is another. Do samurai count as siege units though? Because that would mean they get countered by the. No, they don't.
No.
Still, these Minutemen are like really strong.
Oh,
so.
we've got a reinforcing badge.
Here comes the Ashi.
Yep.
Yeah, this is like one of those batches of 10 that Japan gets.
Imagine we'll probably see what cannons maybe coming out from
A
Indonesia.
fort.
A fort, yeah, something. Ooh, but that factory goes down. Ooh, and he upgraded it. This is gonna hurt.
And that is 7. Yeah, that's 7 food per.
That's
like.
Ooh, that's huge. That's like something like 7, 8, 9 villagers there, right? Gone.
Yeah.
And he's trying to
That
boom
is
back
really,
into escape. Here comes more samurai.
Is he training villagers?
No, he's training
I think he is
revolutionaries right now.
But did he send that spice card already, or
Yes,
not
he
yet?
did.
He did.
Yep,
So
it's
it means
already
that
been sent.
he is looking. Yes, you're right. So he is. Well, he does get the food, of course, right already. So, but I think he needs to focus, and this is what he's doing. He's doing this right. He's focusing on training military rather than settlers at the moment because he's just in a pinch. But he knows he suspects that if he holds this, he can get his eco back up.
Exactly.
And I would assess that with the investment that Japan has done on military, this is probably the correct play.
24 minutes, 8 villagers stuck in a revolt, still going at it. Scores slightly in the favor of Indonesia. And again, you almost never see this revolt. Brazil, because Brazil is like a tumor that spreads throughout the map with town centers.
I love Brazil.
Yeah, everyone.
I used to play them with Italy because you could build your TCs back up when you lose them with the architects because they are still trainable after revolting, and it's just fun. But with Portugal, especially since Vitorias came out, Brazil became really popular.
You say popular, I say broken, but yes.
Well, yeah, both. It's the one is a consequence of the other.
So now what do you do? So if you're Crispy, but this is still not a great position, right? Because again, you're thinking probably to yourself Japan can't possibly try to bash its head into my turtle what, a 5th time in age 2.
Japan does have the eco, Look at those resources, and is he aging up? Not yet.
Nope.
But
he's finally
he does have to
sending
go in for it, so it looks like he is going to age.
Sir, nope.
And there goes all the food. So nope, I was wrong.
I like this Japan player. Salamander, if you're out there, I respect this style where he's like, I'm tired of this turtle meta. God dang it. I'm doing it. One way or the other. Oh, the vills do extra siege damage. To shrines.
What? Why? Is that an Indonesia thing or
it's a please God stop letting people shrine your back hunts in many games and be miserable card. Okay, he's building a Rax.
Wait, is it all civs have this, or
yes,
is it just
all
Indonesia?
civs.
All civs have it. This is interesting. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, this was a change a few patches back, and they just finally put the tooltip there.
Interesting. Okay, so he's still sieging houses. They're both sieging houses technically.
Oh, here come the set bangs. This is basically a flaming arrow, and there's about to be, I think, a good deal of irony of Japan.
Yeah, beating Japan with flaming arrows is actually pretty funny. There we go. Up.
Oh, they shoot cannonballs.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's a cool little unit.
Wait.
Man, how unique is that? Wow, these are pretty solid. Okay, so you've got a good, solid flaming arrow thing. 26 range. Isn't that
hit points? But
is 26 more
26 range
than a flaming arrow? Isn't a flaming arrow? I don't know. This just shows you how much we know about Japan. If you're in the comments,
maybe he's going to get some, and we will be able to tell. But I doubt this Japan player is ever going to invest into flaming arrows.
Yeah, this guy
This is a lot of. This is still a big mass though. Not gonna lie. Ooh, and a big batch of Naganatas coming.
That is a problem. But revolutionaries do pretty well against it, but he doesn't really have an army.
Basically Coronians.
Yes. Look at those res stack, and now he can get an army if he needs to.
And lots of villagers.
Yeah.
And in fact he's at 46 villagers already.
Dude, this is crazy. At 30. Okay, we've now seen a revolt that's typically an all-in. We've seen Japan mass samurai, and try to break this turtle while being in age 2.
I love Japan massing samurai. This is something you don't see a lot.
It does. I'm sure there's someone watching the screen right now, screaming, who's a Japan main, age up for the love of God, age up. But
he does still have a score lead. Come on.
Yeah, he's probably thinking I'm gonna do it.
And this is a big mass, bigger than he's had before. So
Yeah, this is the Wile E. Coyote approach of this time. This time I'm gonna get that pesky bird. And okay, let's see what the response from Crispy Butt is. He's revolutionaries for days. He's got the cannons. He's got him behind. Good job. Those Nagis though.
Positioning indeed.
Is he gonna?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Run!
Ooh, gets a
Nope.
good volley
Right.
off though.
Very good, yeah.
And he's in a corner. Really smart job
He's
there.
very well positioned
Mm-hmm.
with these houses around, and the revolutionaries are actually... Man, this is a very good position. I like it.
This is.
Though it does look like his artillery is going down, which he might be fine with that. He does have some wood. Just doesn't want to lose the factory there.
Yep. He's already lost one.
And he's not going to because Japan backs off.
He's got a half-built trading post.
Yeah, Explorer died. He might have used. He didn't die, but he might have used the move all military.
Recall. So now he's got a shipment banked. He's still got 34 vills. He's out of food though. There's like no hunts.
Yeah, this is a problem. You see, oh goodness.
Well, you know what? This is a
Well, he does have
godsend to anyone.
wood for a mill.
Yeah, but though this is such a godsend to anyone that played RE and had some Japanese guy shrine like one of your few hunts, and it's just like it used to be so toxic how Japan could just run in, shrine everything, and you spent the whole game just trying to get access to your own food.
I suppose this is actually really good. I didn't even know about it, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's still Japan can still shrine okay. Like you're usually not going to see vills, but it stops them from coming in and shrining a hunt.
Well, and they do. If you siege them with you can't do it very far from your base because Japan will notice and they.
Are the revolutionaries a unique model for Indonesia?
Yes, they've got like special heads, and this is actually the case for multiple revolutions. So, if I recall, like Egypt gets like some sort of different hat as well. Yeah, they have their different. I don't think they have like different stats, but it's just the hat is different.
Nice.
It's very nice. All this flavor.
I do. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it's easy because we're often competitive or sweaty, as some would say, right? Players that we forget, like how just absolutely gorgeous I think the game is and continues to be.
Yeah.
Like this is so cool. But this is part of a base main that you have this unique revolution, and I mean most AoE 3 players probably don't even know this is a revolution. Now I am curious when we'll see elephants, but here it is. He's got 41 vills. Japan's at 49. Japan continues to be allergic to age 3. And we kind of have a lull. I'm really hoping we do go up just because, as much as I love, and I'm sure you love, as a Japan, self-confessed Japan hater, watching Japan just throw itself helplessly onto the turtle. But
I do have some sympathy for this Japan player, not gonna lie. Like I probably despise these turtles just as much as I despise Japan. But it is a fun build, like especially like Indonesia is actually very rare and it's fun to see.
Right, and Japan could have had the tools, but look at that! Finally, the score.
Oh yeah,
starting to switch over for Crispy Butt.
Yeah.
Will Japan ever build a second wonder? He's got to be macroing for it. But he keeps building units, and this is like a mistake a lot of players make sometimes, where like they just get so tunnel visioned into an approach. Like, yes, turtles are annoying, but if you're just gonna beat your head into it, after a certain point, like you're gonna have to just resign because the turtle beats this type of pressure. And Crispy Butt, he's been on.
Remember, you're up with H2 units against H4 units technically, so that's also a thing.
Okay. He's got to be... Okay, there we go.
Looks here is the H3. Okay, good.
Great
This
Buddha.
is the Great Buddha. Okay.
This is cool. Okay, this is a wonder you almost never see. But it's informers or spies, right? On a stick, basically.
Oh, yeah, it's more of a team game wonder. Let's put it that way.
Also, Japan would... A little bit high there. And again, Crispy Butt's being a lot more efficient with his resources. I think he's showing a little bit more macro skill. And I think that's what's keeping him in the game because he's able to remass time and time again with efficient use, right? Now he's got his... Yep.
There's mills, more cannons. Oh, he can train these. This is interesting.
Mm-hmm. And Japan's going to take the trade line. Smart. Again, this trade line's worth a lot. Like typically
this is a very good move.
Yeah, typically against a turtle, what you would want to do is you back off, right? You take the trade line. You already have the mass, right? So they have to spend resources on their mass. So you just kind of back off, take the trade line, boom a bit, and then take the fight when you're on equal tech level. with less resources needed to catch up, basically, right? Like again, a boom typically beats a turtle. Of course, there's civs like currently Italy that kind of laugh in the face of that rock paper scissors. But especially into a revolution, you should have the better eco over time. Although again,
For Italy, it's just rocks. I would like he's building a native embassy, which is interesting. I would like to see which natives are in this map. There's a specific reason for this.
Apache.
So we've got, and what is the other one?
Probably Cheyenne.
Is there
no,
like
Navajo?
Oh, okay. Because sometimes this map spawns with Mayans and Zapotecs, I think. And this would have been really good for Japan because of the samurai. Like, imagine the beefy samurais that we would have, because both of these improve melee infantry. But this, in this case, maybe the Navajo are actually would have been worth it against, especially against a turtle like this.
And
we do have like the time to actually get these.
We have the elephants coming in. This is again one of the cool.
I know this card. So it this is an insane card. It will give you a bonus elephant with every single shipment you send from now. But you can send this again, and that means that the next time you will get 2 elephants for each shipment, and then 3, and then 4. You know.
Yep.
This is a very crazy card.
Wow,
I love it. The concept is just insane.
And Crispy,
yeah, this is
finally catches him as soon
as
he
don't have a lot of
up.
siege, though. Because they don't have a multiplier against buildings, so...
True, but there's
he's got a lot of them. Yeah, and shrines are like really high, low HP, so...
Yeah. Good job, too, from Crispy Butt to push as soon as he sees the H3, right? He's like, alright, I got a bit of a window as Japan gets all its veteran techs. Right? Disciplined. And again, those... Naginata are not going to do too well into these revolutionaries. Although the revolutionaries have terrible hand attack, including really against Cav. So.
Oh yeah, this is terrible. Wow. But yeah, he needs to run those. And what did he just get in there? He sent some sort of shipment there.
That was the elephants.
Japan.
Or Japan did?
No, Japan. In the base. It was like sort of wagons and stuff.
Yeah, shrine wagons.
Okay, shrine wagons. Okay, that's not what. That's not exactly what he needed. But okay. He should have. I think this is where you wanna.
Ooh, good flank. I didn't even see that.
Very good flank. Okay. I was going to say you should have separated the ashes because they are faster and then like melee them into. But this is actually really good, very good.
That's a huge loss too for Crispy Butt. He's had such a good time with these cannons. These revolutionaries are going to get cleaned up. These Apache cavalry, nice touch. But
yeah, the cannons were like what really posed a threat to Japan here. And he's basically dealt with them except for a few.
God, did you see that explosion? Man, that guy got annihilated.
Oh, whoa, yeah.
But again, they have to back off. There's just not enough. Clutch Naginata. Flank there.
Flank, really good.
Wow, and even though the score is low for Salamander went age 4 too. I didn't even catch that. I'm so sorry, guys. There's just so much going on. Right. And this is looking...
So that's what the wagons were from, probably.
Flaming arrow, let's do it. Oh, but he finds a choke point. He decides to fight it out. Smart move. Again, Crispy Butt's showing really good unit control here. Trying to go into these tiny cracks and basically use every advantage he can to get the most out of it. We've got the not Mahout here in the background. Something he might want to send too. The Creighton guards. I mean, revolutionaries are so cheap. Might be worthwhile, but missed it for just a second, and the Nagis are back.
I suppose that was the end of the jet bank.
Mm-hmm.
He's still training some, but he's got a little more. Ha!
Exactly. Kind of a shout out to Widgie, but one of my favorite lines is what he was saying, "Move Arunga."
Yeah, move Arunga. Why didn't you move Arunga?
Yeah, Mecharunga. Why don't you move? Definitely. That's got to be one of the best Age of Empires 3 moments that we all have felt with the Pathan when it goes against you. And look at this base. I mean, Portugal may have been a tiny empire, but what a compact empire it was. And just, I think Crispy, but I mean, he's in the danger of getting outscaled. But if he gets to 99 vills, 99 plus a factory, it's about the equivalent of Japan. So then Japan's advantage is largely
Japan is H4 now, though.
still not max shrined. Did he forget about his? Oh,
He probably lost some. Yeah, he lost some, and then he is building them. Oof, and yeah, he needs more of those. And
again, take the trade line. It's something that we often forget, but here's something
he did
like
upgrade it though.
He did, but if you can get 4 TPs, if it's like a
Gotta
normal
get
one,
all of them.
If it's a normal one, it's the equivalent of somewhere between 9 or 12 villagers, right? Which again, every little bit counts here, especially the longer the game goes, right?
Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
But there's a lot of revolutionaries there. He does have flaming arrows now, so we can probably get a little comparison in once.
Good job. And the Nagis are just they're trying to get to grips with that pathing. This little triangle of doom here of houses.
All these houses. This is what we saw in that lopsided game, but it really worked against the defensive player because it blocked the villagers. But here it's like really helping Portugal out.
It is. And there goes the Nagi support. And how are these set bangs going to compare? Well, more range on the flaming arrows.
And more HP as well. I think the flaming arrows are better. Just full on better. But what is the multiplier on the flaming arrows? Do they have a ×3 multiplier against infantry as well?
Well, I'll let you.
You gotta be quick.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. So they're definitely better. More siege as well. But it doesn't seem to matter. The mass on the Indonesia side is just too large.
It is.
Oh man, look at those! Look at those explosions. Yeah,
it's so much fun. I like the little cannonballs that it shoots out. Fun times. And wow, this has been pretty action-packed. Again, people often when they talk about like mid-level elo play, they think it's just like 2 people often camping, and that can definitely be the case here. But other than that lull we saw when Japan went to age 4, this has been basically non-stop action and sending in the flaming arrow shipment. Right, he's got a massive Yumi. Again, one of the best archer units in the entire game. Versus revolutionaries, militiamen.
Well, he's got the right comp, but he just needs a bit more flaming arrows.
Right, because these are the anti-cav, and then these things counter everything else other than probably a mass of flaming arrows.
Yeah.
Again, no cav support here, but he does get the mahouts.
Oh, actually, do the revolutionaries counter goons as well? Because
yes, it's all
might
cav.
Be amazing here. Okay, then not.
It could be good.
Otherwise, Yamabushi would have been a very good unit.
Are these guys going to pay attention? And again,
and he
wow,
really good job on moving these guys. Then again, the revolutionary is still not good in melee, but he did what he had to do. But here's another batch of Nagi.
Yep. Ooh, good catch.
This is a big batch.
Again, those revolutionaries, they need huge numbers to really be effective against cav. One-on-one, their stats are
because
not fantastic.
They need to be firing, not melee, and that's
Cool.
this is a big loss for Indonesia, though.
It is, and again, Japan able to really come together here. I think this is just a wipe, and this is a tough spot. I think Indonesia. It's funny, Indonesia saying that over and over again, but Indonesia's in a rough spot, and yeah, he needs to back off and remass. He's at 84 vills to 51. Still kind of the population there. I think Japan forgot to finish up building units because he's probably focused solely on eco. He's got way overgathered on food too. But as the game goes on, overgathering sometimes can be less of a problem because you're going to be able to switch around and use it.
And also they're 40 minutes in, so yeah, kind of tough.
That's something too. I don't care what level you are. If you've been playing this game for 40 minutes, like your brain's going to slowly start to turn to mush. It just happens. Mistakes get made. It's really what makes some of the pros.
We always say this, but it's because it's true.
Yeah. Okay, he's finally getting the rest of his shrines out.
There we go. He's also got a lot of export stacked. I think that's like one of the issues I have as well with African civs. Like when it goes like really late game, it's actually hard to get your influence spent once you have got all the upgrades. It's but except a few like mass cannons, I suppose. But
Just going for the
Okay, here
elephants.
comes another elephant. He's going to get more elephants for every shipment.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. He can even train them too. I don't know what the build limit on these are, but I heard like there's something. It's something ridiculous, or
Yeah,
you
you
can
can
like
get huge
get
swarms of these things.
yeah. If
It,
you but he didn't really focus on them because he could have like been sending only these shipments and already get like big batches of them. But he chose to focus a little bit more on eco and then get his stuff going
oh,
again.
but
So
now we're building
yeah.
Ellie's. Looks like, or at least he's trying to build some elephants. Looks like he's got a stack of
Yeah,
4.
he is. And we
He's,
can build them in the stables. This is interesting. I thought it was just I think I thought this was the reason he built the native embassy, but absolutely not. He just changed them from the stable.
well, he got the for speed. Looks like he got something for the raids.
Oh, yeah,
Yep,
he didn't get these, but
we did not get them because they're still all base speed.
yeah, he could though. And also, I think what was the other one? Navajo? No, that's just for skirms.
It's
Okay,
Navajo,
or infantry. Yeah, yeah, Navajo. Yeah, sorry.
but still, I mean, it's good text.
Hey, it's a good one. It's no. Navajo is a good native. I know Apache can be like really annoying. I remember this game where like I was like playing China and then someone was hitting me with
Ooh, that's
only Navajo or only Apache, and he would just like kill all my villagers.
this. Speaking of killing
This is going to
villagers,
hurt though.
yeah,
Yeah, I was going to say that. Okay, he sees it, but oh look! It looks like he pulled some villagers up and tried to like pull triggers. See that?
oh yeah, yeah, he did. Good job.
This is something I like to do as well. It's a very good idea.
Yep, helps get your villagers out there, minimize casualties. He's having to pull
Yeah.
everybody off. That's a hell of an idle, but you know what?
Maybe
He's
that's
used
an
to idling.
because Japan. Oh wait, Japan is going for the base trade. Maybe. Look at this. Indonesia's army is like all the way over there, and Japan is coming in here.
Wow, and he's got
This
heavy
is going to
cannons.
be
He got a heavy cannon out of his
big
factory.
army with lots of elephants, cannons. Okay, he's going to lose his factory most probably, but if he can do some. Oh no, he's turning around. He's turning around. He's coming back.
He thought better of it. He's like, I better trap this army
Hmm.
because he's going to lose
I
that
don't know
factory.
whether that's. He is going to lose it anyway. He might. Maybe it would have been better to take out some wonders for Japan. But okay, I suppose if he does kill Japan's army, then he can go for it anyway. So
Yeah, and I think the most important thing is your vills, right? As long as your economy lives, you still
the
got a
vills.
chance.
This is true.
He's got 93 vills. He's almost at max population capacity.
Yeah.
Here come the Colves. Good job. And here comes the big boys.
And Japan doesn't have the
He does not have enough
most
to deal with
anti-cav
mahouts.
right now.
Yep.
No. Well, these aren't mahouts, but still, they're like light modes.
Discount mahouts, off-brand mahouts, whatever it is. To Japan, it's still an elephant tusk of death. Here we go.
And especially for Yumis, this is like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at those guys getting heated.
Ooh. This must be wonderful for you to watch all these poor Japanese guys just go down and.
Oh man, I'm like, oh. Nah, just kidding. But
in all seriousness,
very good fight for
yeah,
Indonesia.
good fight. That was a gut decision, and again, base trade or not, Crispy Butt definitely had to gamble there, and he ended up picking the right one because I think Japan lacked a lot of the siege, and then the flank with the Culverins I think was clutch there. So now Japan's sending intervention. What consulate is it on? Oh, Japan. So gonna get a lot of Yamabushi.
Okay, you get Yamabushi. Oh yeah.
And he's remastered.
There was like 9 of them, something like that. I'm not a fan of these units, but they do have a very high multiplier against Cav. So if he has to face those elephants again, like what did they do? They do like 75 damage if I counted that.
Yes. No, they do like 50-ish damage.
No, the
Yamabushi?
the Yamabushi.
Yes, 75.
Yeah. Quite a lot.
Stacking a shipment. Guard upgrades coming in for the howitzers. Interesting. So he's going for mortars. He's like basically saying
Howitzers.
he just wants to
like
rip
it
down.
Yeah.
94
And this is something Japan does struggle with. Like if you take down the wonders, if you take down, their they have a lot of infrastructure that can't really be rebuilt. Let's put it that way.
Correct. And
He's getting more elephants.
Yeah. And he's stacking a shipment. Again, these Creighton guards would have made a huge impact by now. To have some revolutionary strats, but you know, I'm gonna let Crispy Butt cook because it seems to be working.
It seems to be working. This is.
What are they doing? What are they doing? Is that an attack move bug?
Uh-oh! We gotta move that.
Oh my gosh.
But he gets the.
Oh,
he gets
here comes the Nagis.
Nagis on here. And the Nagi charge, really cool.
Oh no!
I do love the aesthetics with like the big flags on there.
I know, this is cool, and it looks like is he gonna get pushed back? But you know what? He's protecting the heavy. I think this is the key to victory now.
Yeah.
Oh no!
No, he's going to die.
Oh, it
Man,
goes
I
down.
love me some good cav charges. That was really good.
Yeah, this is fun to watch, man. Like this is like maybe not the most like quote unquote competitive game of all time, but this is just fun to watch. Like this is the stuff I love to cast, man. It's just fun. You got all sorts of craziness going on. Oh, where'd that come? Oh, Culverin shot. Okay, and he's almost reboomed back. And what are you gonna send? Send the elephants. Do it.
More elephants. More elephants. What is the guard neck? Was that the spearman? Or? Yeah.
The Javanese spearman.
What is this? He's got some native lore improvement in the
Yeah, native warriors make him cheaper.
Native warriors, okay, not worth it. Oh, actually, not worth it. I say that, but these elephants are natives. Of course.
That's right.
Yeah, me too. Just a full Yumi army. Yeah, well, and these guys have 57 siege, which is actually not bad at all.
No. And the mortars are going to start hitting. Japan.
Oh, there we go. But
thinking about some walls.
I think Japan will be able to go.
Uh-oh. Crispy Butt gets some vills.
I say that, but there comes a big reinforcement batch, and he does...
Okay, pull trick him back.
Jory Gates.
Ooh, those elephants are just going to crush those Yumi.
Yep. Oh, what? This was actually a pretty big loss for Japan.
Yeah, I think Japan got split. He was chasing... he's chasing these vills. He got split. And yeah, he's doing the elephants. Let's go.
Yeah, this is over.
I think so. I think this is finally over. My God, after 50 minutes of definitely the most unique stuff I've seen. I think we're in the twilight of the Japanese hold on Mexico. Long live the Indonesian New World. Elephants, unique revolutionaries, unique cannons. Still Rico Suave. Here we go, and nope, he's going in on the eco.
Look at all the elephants. This is... I'm loving it. Yeah, what do you do now?
Right? Like, I think you have to hit the resign button, unless you get the... Yeah. What do you do? Throw Nagis into the turtle again? Like, how... I guess so. Look at all those vills.
There's so many, like, his entire eco is back, so it's...
He's down to 23. The Nagis are just looping around. I mean, he'll get it.
Oh no! Oh gosh.
But look, I mean, yeah, he'll get the last charge, like the final charge, you know what I mean?
Yeah, feudal light brigade.
What was the battle in Japan like during the Meiji Restoration, right? Where like the samurai did one last.
The
Imjin War, I think it's called, or something. But regardless, that's it. That's the glorious last charge, the martial pride of Japan.
And glorious it was.
And yeah, I mean, glorious it was, but I mean, these Nagi are just they're gonna die at some point. Maybe he's just, at this point, sometimes you just want to play to play. Let's see.
Yeah, maybe he's like thinking about what happened.
What is this?
Yeah.
I'm dying to siege elephants from Portugal. Or not
like
siege
maybe,
elephants, but mahouts.
No. This is pretty fun. Yeah.
And they're looking around. They're trapped in the back. I mean, it's been 53 minutes. You just want to go out with a bang. But look, all he finds is the deserted farms. And he's got to be like, oh, come on. Right?
Oh, he needed his explorers back. This is this one.
And look, I mean, he pulled villas what he could. You still got a couple disciplined samurai, but very unfair. GG, well played.
Wow.
What did we just witness? Oh my God. Thank God I had coffee because my brain probably could not have processed. So we saw Super Turtle. We saw Japan knock on that door time and time again, come really close. Like the first 20 minutes was definitely like white knuckling. And then after that, we
Oh,
saw
sure.
in what used to be a pretty bland all-in revolution um, go the distance with that spice trade card um, into win.
Yeah, and it took him. It still took him some time. Like Japan still had a few good fights, especially that one Naginata flank. But in the end, well, I suppose Indonesia's like him getting back his eco right after revolting really paid off in the end.
Most units killed.
The eco was really close actually. The
Yeah.
two economics.
And if you look at the
It's a
military,
few thousand. But...
I mean, this looks kind of lopsided, but when you consider how much of this is passive buildings, right?
Yeah.
Doing a lot of the killing, favorite unit revolutionaries, Yumi archers. If we look here now at the villager count,
Look how fast he boomed back. Wow.
wow, yeah, that
Pretty good.
was. I mean, this is impressive right here. I don't care what your elo is, but to go from 0 vills in 19 minutes, and then about 12 minutes later be back to 50, all while defending. I mean, it's impressive. And again, I think Japan kind of let off the gas there. Was probably just frustrated, right? Like, let's look at military population. Yeah, Crispy Butt's at 0 all the way until his revolt. Look at that. I mean, Japan has the military advantage. It's just not able to leverage it.
He did have some good fights. Like you see this second big fight in the late game, like where yeah, this was not the best one, but then after this, yeah, this was a good fight for Japan. You see like the blue line drop
Mm-hmm.
A lot, and then just after that, like Indonesia remassed really quickly. That's
I mean, look at this.
yeah.
I mean,
They
first
both
off,
did. They both kind of did.
Crispy Butt did a great job defending. He kept his, he had mistakes, which
Kept the score, yeah.
yeah, but I think you're right. Like the psychology of this player, I think, is a strength that should be admired. Again, his mic, he had goof ups, stuff got caught out of position. We saw,
Oh
the
yeah.
revolutionaries out of
Yeah,
place. A
he
few
lost the
times.
factory and the fort as well.
Yeah, although the fort, I can't give him any credit or any salt for that because that was the
no,
foundation.
but yeah, I know, right? He couldn't help it, but he still, he still had to deal with it, and he did it. He did it pretty well. He didn't lose his, lose his calm because of, or maybe he did. We don't know, but
Yeah, right.
it didn't show in the gameplay.
It didn't, I mean, he just kept to it the whole game. So, I think with that, wow, that was a really fun one. And again, I know people often will look at someone that's like a lower elo and they'll say, well, you could have done this, you could have done that. But at the end of the day, these were two equally skilled players that they
Yeah.
played kind of different than you would not see. You saw Japan go aggressive early, right? Which I think is really fun to see. You saw Portugal greed in the face of aggression and through some pretty solid, mechanics to get somebody that's quote unquote pro will have like higher APM, but I think Crispy Butts, his macro, his tactics, and his strategies were not dissimilar from a top level player, right? Again, all of us are mortals, we're humans here, and this is what makes these games so much fun. Like, this isn't even just like low elo legend where we're watching people not have a concept of the game. Crispy Butt has a good understanding of the game, a good understanding of his win condition. Get to the revolt, get these units out, get these cannons, tech switch into elephants, and he was able to, throughout the course of this game, do that. Where I think Japan saw red when he saw the turtle, which is human, and it was basically like, I want to knock this wall down. Like,
Yeah.
and he got close to, he was so close. If you're watching this,
I
Salamander,
like
you should be
the
proud.
tech switch that he did from Ashi to Samurai. That was pretty fun.
That was. And we got to see several tech switches from both sides. So this was a good one. If anyone's made it this long, I applaud you. Um, I really enjoyed casting this one, Crispy Butt. Thank you for submitting this. These are again the type of games that we love to see. The off meta, not just for the sake of off meta, but really having a strategy behind it, even down to the Elmeti. So thank you.
Yeah.
If you made it this far and you like the video, like, subscribe, go look up what Indonesia does. Because most of you probably don't know, I didn't even really know that much, like the crates and guards or the fencing school now. I mean, there's a lot of cool
Yeah.
stuff. And, Age of Empires 3 is not a solved game. There are so many things that we can still play with.
I do like the idea of, so what the devs did is like you adding regular guards to a lot of revolutions. That was pretty interesting that they did this.
It was.
Like fencing school, cigar rollers, like guards like that. That got added to several revolutions. It's very interesting.
It was. So, with that, any final thoughts before we close out here, McLeaves?
Yeah, let's not make it too long. Very, very interesting game. Very nice. Showing off this revolution that we don't see every day.
Awesome. All right, y'all have a good one, and we'll see you on the next one.